Hey everyone, Chris, Dale Carnegie Training. This is just a post that just decided to... Actually, okay, I'll show you what it was inspired by actually. So you look down here and you'll see some ducks. Actually, I don't know if you can see the ducks yet. Okay, so you see those ducks. So not too long ago they were all the way out in that direction. See? And what I saw not too long ago was they started swimming up this way. So the reason for that is because of, well, Pavlov would say that that's because of a conditioned response. That they recognize me, the human, they see me standing on the side, and what they've gotten used to is people feeding them little bits of bread, I guess at the lunch break or whatever. People come out here, or you see back there, we got some houses back there, and I'm sure people feed these ducks pretty often. So when they see me, they come to me because of a conditioned response. They're expecting to get some bread. And actually, if I took something like, you see this right here, this tree right here, if I took a leaf from that tree and threw it in there, they would go and they would try to eat it. They're not going to do it because I don't think it's good for them to eat that particular plant. But as far as that relates to us, conditioned response. Again, my profession is sales and Dale Carnegie Training and training. So understanding human behavior and ways to change human behavior in profitable and beneficial ways. That's my entire life. So I do that to myself all the time, and I inspire and cause it in others. And the idea of a conditioned response, it's one of those things that, well, you already know about. But the more you see it around you, the more you realize just how powerful it is. And it causes you to believe things that maybe just aren't true. So let's say, for example, I just recently read a book by an interesting gentleman called, Never Cold Call Again, or Cold Calling is a Waste of Time, or Cold Calling is Dead. I think he wrote all of those books. The reason he writes that is because basically it's the worst kind of prospecting that you can do. It has the least chance for success. Anybody who claims they've had success with cold calling, I'll give you an example. I used to be a proponent of cold calling. I really, truly was. I would tell people that, man, cold calling, you just got to keep at it. You just got to keep making those dials. Just got to keep smiling. Just, do a little bit of research, develop the skill, all these things. I would tell people that. And the reason that I would tell people that is because of a peak emotional past experience. And my past experience was, basically, it was like throwing a dart at a bullseye blindfolded. This company, Orion Instruments, it's a big company here, a fantastically successful company. They've existed for a relatively short period of time, and they are now the world's top producer and manufacturer of magnetic level indicators in the industrial world, in the industrial industry, and they are massively successful. 60% of all of their income comes from international exports, not just interstate exports, but international exports. And I saw an article on them in a magazine, called them just out of the blue, just a blatant cold call, said, I want to talk to the president of the company. Just so happens I got really lucky. He was in half the year, he's out in another country. And the rest of the time, he barely answers his phone. But when I called and I said, Chris Graham with Dale Carnegie, I want to talk with Don Sanders, the receptionist said, oh, just hold on for a second. And then all of a sudden, he picks up the phone. He literally says this. He says, hey, Chris, you with Dale Carnegie. I didn't even know you people had a franchise out here. When can we set an appointment? You got your calendar? Hey, let me ask you a question. Is this the easiest cold call you ever had? And I totally freaked out. My response was like this. Oh, yes, let me get it real quick. He could not get me there fast enough. He's a great client. He always puts some more people in. He's about to put 7 people through the course. And so because of that one peak emotional experience, very good experience that I had, that persuaded me or caused me to believe the idea that cold calling is, not a waste of time, because, that can happen. But cold calling, it kills the spirit. Nobody likes it. The person doing the calling doesn't like it. The person receiving the calling doesn't like it. It's bothersome. If you read Cold Calling is a Waste of Time, look it up on the internet, or coldcallingisdead.com. At first, I was skeptical to read the book, and I looked at it negatively, because I think there's just this culture that we still believe that cold calling is useful. I mean, just ask yourself the question, have you ever bought anything from somebody who cold called you? Even if you did, okay, compare just the general ratio of that to the number of cold calls that you've received in your entire life on the phone. Somebody just calling you on the phone saying, hey, I can help you with something, and I can sell you something. Chances are it's probably a 1,000 to 1 ratio, if that, maybe much more than that. So just think about it. There's a lot of other really good reasons to reconsider this whole cold calling is still a viable means of prospecting. I really don't know that it is. So it's, I'm not right about everything, but there are real reasons that you should consider, other more effective means of prospecting. So get out there, leave some comments if you want. We can start this discussion. Until then, I bid you adieu. See you next time.